Welcome to Anecdotes for Success with Matt and Paul. Storytelling is an art form, emphasizing the value and learning that is created through personal experience. Our purpose is to share these stories and experiences with the listener. Everyone has a powerful testimony. Let's use them to level up to our best life with truth, meaning, trade-offs, and perspective.
Big shout out to Isaac Mather for the new podcast intro. You can check Isaac's music out on all socials or directly at isaacmathermusic.com.
Hey.
Hey, so I'm recording you. Is that okay?
Yeah, for sure.
So
They look slightly more awake.
yeah, the morning class was quiet. They said, "Where is he?" I said, "Why don't you call him? I bet you he answers."
Yeah, like look, I'm just sitting over there. On this moment, I guess we can all be honest. I don't really play. I don't have hobbies. So I went on. I went on Facebook Market, which I'll never buy anything new in my life, and I bought a Switch, and I was just like playing with it until you guys logged on. I'm trying to get into video games to get myself to stop working. We'll see.
To play video games to stop working.
My girlfriend says I need a hobby. Everything I do, I try to make money out of.
That's okay, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little annoying to her, but capitalism. What's up, guys?
So we prepped a little. I had him watch your Chipolaholic video.
Nice.
I was telling him you used to have a card, and then we watched the interview where you're the Taylor Swift of boxing.
Oh, nice.
Other
than that, a normal person.
Yeah, can you tell how did that come up? Where you just said that in an interview, right?
Yeah. You played the interview?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had lost a fight that I thought I deserved to win, and I used to lose my mind and like throw temper tantrums when I lost. And I realized that if I'm going to be stepping in the role of being a role model and being an influencer and having sponsorships, companies who would sponsor me doesn't want to sponsor someone with erratic behavior. So instead of being mad, I found ways of channeling my dry sense of humor and just being very sarcastic.
Have you ever? I told him you're from Kansas City.
Originally from Long Island, New York.
You're living in Kansas City.
Yeah, I live in Kansas City.
Have you met the Taylor Swift of football yet, Travis Kelce?
No, but I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan. So part of me is like, it's a little annoying, it's having Taylor Swift be the center of Kansas City, but you can see how influence can be great for business, because Travis Kelce has one of the highest selling jerseys right now. The Kansas City Chiefs are raking in a lot of money, all because some guy has a girlfriend. Not a potential wife. I don't even think she's been married yet. She just dates and sings.
And I think she dates to get content for her songs, right?
There's content in everything, and Taylor Swift has taught us that. Do not waste content.
So we'll backpedal a little. Why don't you give them the same little bio as the AM class? Tell them again where you're from, not Kansas City, parents, etc.
Born and raised Long Island, New York. My dad drove a cement truck Monday through Friday and owned a cement business, construction business on the weekend. And he would make significantly more money on the weekends than he would make during the week at his 9-to-5 job. And that influenced me to take an entrepreneurial route in life, because I learned when my dad went to work for someone else, they told him when to work. When my dad worked for himself, he made his own schedule. Now, my dad's not from America, so he didn't understand some of the nuances that come with owning a business. Like, he worked a 9-to-5 job because he needed health insurance. He didn't there's other ways to get health insurance besides a 9-to-5. I don't have a 9-to-5. I have health insurance. So I decided to take the entrepreneurial route. What I decided to do is, instead of you need credibility in life. And what a lot of you guys are going to do is you're going to go to college, you're going to spend a few years there, they're going to give you a piece of paper, and that piece of paper is your credibility. Hey, hire me. I have a bachelor's degree. Gray shirt up front. What's your name?
Jacob.
Jacob, let's say that you went out for a marketing job, right? And you have a 4-year marketing degree. And Jacob, I'm a boxer and I have a national championship. If we went for the job, who do you think might get it?
Maybe you, probably.
Probably, but what if I had 12 national championships? Who do you think would get it?
Definitely you.
Okay, so what I decided to do was after I won my first nationals at 18 years old, I was like, oh, this is a lot. This is way easier than I thought it would be. So what I decided to do was just win a bunch of national championships, and I'm plan to leverage that for whatever career I decide to do in the future. So I've been to over 30 countries. I've been captain of the USA national boxing team for over 10 years. I've won 12 national championships. And now I leverage that credibility. I have a documentary on Netflix. I leverage the credibility that I have to build a career for myself. I call it athlete privilege. There are opportunities I get in life and doors that open up for me for no other reason that I'm good at punching people. And if you think back to your regular schools, athletes kind of get special privileges, right? They get to leave class early. And when you get to go to college, it's just it's exaggerated. So I decided to use my platform of sports to build a future for myself outside of sports. That's why I never turned pro in boxing. So right now I started a speaking business. It's been pretty lucrative, and now I'm using the capital I gained from speaking to start other businesses. So I have I don't have one here, but I started a seat cover company, and I started a straw company. I'm just starting businesses because I think it's the most fun thing in the world. So when something fails, I don't really care, because it's just money. And as long as I can pay my phone bill and pay my little bit of rent, I'm happy. I don't need much. So I'm big into taking risks, as long as it means I get to do what I want to do with my time. Isn't it cool to be able to do what you want with all of your time? Like, you're at school now because you have to be legally. Like I'm sure you're blessed to be in this class now, but when you become an adult, you either do what other people want you to do with your time, or you do what you want with your time. And that's based off of your resources and your income. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm also a very open book. I have, there's no question that's off limits that you can ask me. And I've learned all of the lessons I've learned from asking people random questions. I was telling the earlier class, the cheapest education you can get costs a cup of coffee. I meet tons of people, 10 to 15 people a month for coffee. I don't even drink coffee, but I found that people will tell you all of their business secrets, everything they wouldn't post online. When you're intimate one-on-one and you ask genuine questions, if you ask the right questions, you can get all the answers you need in life. And also you have to be okay with hearing no's. Yeah.
Any questions? Oh, here we go.
I was wondering how you got your Chipotle black card.
So I back in the day before, like, it was in like 2013 and 14, it was the wild, wild west of social media. This is before there were influencers, and like, if you reached out to a company, they would send you sponsorships. And I live on the road, I'm vegan, and Chipotle is a cheap option for me. So every time I would go to Chipotle, I would tweet Chipotle as if we were in a relationship. And I'd be like, hey girl, what you doing tonight? You want to come over? We try Netflix and chill. And Chipotle started responding back. And then other people would talk to Chipotle, and then I would be a jealous ex-boyfriend or jealous boyfriend. And I was just trolling Chipotle for a while, but all my posts were surrounded by Chipotle. And then I made that the Chipotle holic video, and they reached out and gave me an all-you-can-eat, one meal a day for free for a year. But then I found out that card worked for unlimited meals. So sometimes I would buy 20 burritos and just hand it out to friends. I got a little reckless, and they eventually took the card away after 3 years.
But it was fun while it lasted, right?
Oh, it was a blast. It was a blast. The only thing better than Chipotle is free Chipotle.
Any other questions?
Why'd you walk away from boxing?
So I never even really liked boxing. I just I liked traveling and I liked winning. And I realized that I would much rather tolerate training for boxing to become who I would like to be than actually going to college and learning and sitting down all day. So I figured I can get life experience, I can get the athlete privilege, I can get into doors without getting punched. And here's another reason why. Here's the honest reason. What's your name, bro?
I am Bobby Cavalier.
Bobby? Bobby Cavalier. That's a great name, by the way. Shouldn't even say Bob. It should always be Bobby Cavalier.
Yeah.
So Bobby Cavalier.
All once. You can't just say one or the other.
Yeah, I like it. So Bobby Cavalier. I understand in boxing, if you make it to 35 years old and you're still a relevant athlete, you have broken many odds. So what I learned is I could have turned pro at 21, 22 years old and made some money, or I could have bet on myself for the long run. And now I make for one speech what a boxer makes for one fight. Now, you can only fight 3 times a year. Last year, I spoke 109 times. And the cool thing is, the older I get, well, in boxing, the older you get, the less relevant you become, the more you age out of the sport. But bro, I'm starting to get gray hair now, which just means my words are going to be valued even more. As I get older, my value would increase. So I chose the career of longevity. So like right now, as long as I don't do anything stupid, I'm pretty much set for life. Barring any scandals and stuff of that sort. But my thought process was, if I were to go into boxing, I wouldn't spend any time speaking. I wouldn't learn about business. I wouldn't be able to connect with you guys the way I am and meet this many people for coffee, because I'd literally be training for my fight, where I'm literally fighting for my income. If I lose, I don't make money next year. So that's not something I was willing to risk, especially in a sport I wasn't that into.
That makes sense. This is more sustainable, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So, Cam, I told them you're coming into town before Thanksgiving. Talk to us for a minute about how you micromanage, how they set up the whole process, and how you want to know what the plan is, right?
Yeah. So when I say I'd like to be micromanaged, I genuinely mean it. When I came there the last 2 years, I just said, give me, or 3 years, or I said, give me your I'm giving you my schedule. So when I showed up, I didn't know anything anyone had planned. And while you have me, utilize me as a resource. Try to do as much with me as possible. You have my schedule. I'll go wherever you tell me to go. I'll speak in front of whoever you tell me to speak in front of. Maybe you can even do things to where you have me go speak somewhere as a favor for a business or something, and then they owe you something on the back end. I mean, whatever you guys want to do, learn to leverage value for as much value as you can get. And I'm not saying I'm the most valuable speaker in the world, but utilize me to the best of your abilities and get unconventional. Tradition stunts growth. A lot of people end up in the same place as a lot of other people because they do what other people did. Try something new. Try to be innovative. Try something, and if it doesn't work, I'm not going to be mad at you. Get weird, bros and gals.
Why is it important to get weird?
And I said this to early class. If you like everything you learn in school, everyone else knows as well. So it's essentially useless. What else can you do? Because if you take the same path as everyone else, you're going to end up in the same destination. So my thought process is take an unconventional route. Do things in a different way and watch your results change, even if it changes a little bit. Tradition stunts growth. Don't do what everybody else is doing.
Cam, you seem to be somebody that's been excited to travel through the highway of life, but you're never too excited to take every exit along the way to see what happens.
Yeah, I love that, man. Love that. You're like a philosopher.
Little rich, little
Yeah.
rich.
Ask that question again. Sorry, you lost me.
I said it was more of a statement. You strike me as the type of person when it comes to being unconventional. Yeah, you could go right down Route 66, but you'll never take the exit and see the cars in that movie, right? Uh,
Yeah,
some people are so focused on their end destination, they forget about all the little side roads, and that's kind of where the happiness and where the success comes from.
yeah. Great point. So, and you heard, like, we all heard, like, life is about the journey, not the destination. Okay, so Bobby Cavalier, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Not a clue.
Doesn't really even matter. Let's just say let's say when you're 40, you want to be a business owner, right? So
Fair.
so 40 years old business owner. That's like 22 years from now, bro. So think about that, and it's difficult for you guys to conceptualize what another 20 years would look like from now. But what I like to do is I like to think of that goal as a lighthouse. So you're in the ocean, you're in a boat, it's dark, you see a lighthouse, you don't even know how far it is, but you know it's a lighthouse, you know which direction you need to go, Bobby Cavalier, right? The closer you get to the lighthouse, you're going to start to see details on the lighthouse. You'll start to see colors, shapes, windows, sizes. And that lighthouse is your goal. When you first started your journey, whatever you imagine that lighthouse is going to look like, it's going to look a lot different when you get there. In 2008, when I won my first national championship, they gave us a piece of paper to fill out. It's like right before you get in the ring, it's like your height, your weight, your reach, your hometown. The last question was, what do you want out of boxing? A lot of people put heavyweight championship. People put millions of dollars, Olympic medal. I put to be a good role model and have my own TV show. I thought if I became good at boxing, I would become famous. And then they let famous people do whatever they want. So I thought I'd get good at boxing, become famous, and get my own TV show. Now, this was back in 2008 when TV and cable was relevant. Like, this is before social media influencers. I said I wanted to be a good role model and have my own TV show. That's essentially a social media influencer. I call this back before social media was a thing. So, of course, my lighthouse looked a lot different. I thought I would have my own TV show. I didn't understand, Bobby Cavalier, that TV was going to be irrelevant and streaming was going to be important and social media was going to be a thing. So, of course, my lighthouse looked a lot different. So when you turn 40, I want you just to go towards that idea of having owning your business at 40, which means when you're 22, you might be working for people. And when you're working for other people, don't necessarily work for them, learn from them. So all the jobs you learn, the odd jobs you learn here and there, take those lessons and you'll apply it and know knowledge when you're 40. When I was in high school, it would freak me out that old people would know so much things. Like, how do you know how to change a furnace? How do you know how to fix a roof? How do you know all these things? And I realized as you go through life, you start to pick up different lessons and learn different things. I own a property that I rent out, and I had to go fix the mailbox. Last week. I never knew how to fix a mailbox. Now I do. Now that's just a random thing I know how to do for the rest of my life. So Bobby Cavalier, when you turn 40, you're going to know so many things to own your business. So the things you're learning now is the actual fun part of the whole experience, not when you're actually 40. It's all the stuff that you're learning now. It's the failures. It's the getting fired. Bobby Cavalier, I got fired from a bowling alley when I was 17. The guy said I didn't have the umph to work at the bowling alley as a cook. I made sure I wrote it in my book.
What was the umph you were missing?
Bro, I don't even know, but it bothered me so much because in my mind, I was like, I'll get to bowl. Like, I think it was like $7.50 an hour. I was going to get paid, but I would get to bowl for free. And that's what I actually wanted. But the head cook said I didn't have the umph. And you know what? He was wrong. I made it. I can probably work at a bowling alley as a cook now in his face.
So you had umph, just not cook umph.
I thought I had the umph. I just don't think he liked me. And you know what? Some people aren't going to like you in life. Screw them.
Now listen though, he didn't like you, but you're not a victim. So how did you rephrase that? How did you react to that?
I love that. I've never been a victim. I'm not into being a victim. Definitely not my thing. If something happens to me, it happened for me. So like he said I couldn't work at the bowling alley. Guess what? Not to brag, I got a job at Waffle House the next week. And then I worked at Waffle House for a while. Of course, just like Bobby Cavalier, when I turned 40, I wasn't trying to work at Waffle House. But the lessons I learned from Waffle House, one of the things I learned was definitely don't want to work in the food industry, at least as a cook, because drunk people just watch you cook and call you names because they're drunk. Yes, Bobby Cavalier.
When did you know that you were hashtag blessed?
Ooh, I now that I look back at it, I was always blessed. Here's what I needed. I needed perspective. I've been to over 30 countries, and like Bobby Cavalier, this morning you woke up and you took a piss in potable water, right?
Yeah, sure.
Didn't even think twice about it, did you?
No, not at all.
You go to the bathroom, there's water. You go in the shower, there's hot water and there's cold water. There are, I think it's 40% of the population in the world doesn't have running water in their homes. You didn't even think about that.
Nope.
Like someone has to get pails of water, walk 2 miles to fetch water and carry the water back. And everyone in the family bathes in the same water. So dad bathes first, then mom. Then if you're the last sibling, you bathe in six people bath water every day for your life. When you realize that happens, you stop complaining about Wi-Fi.
You write every day, don't you?
Yes. Every day. I've got my gratitude journal. I write 10 things I'm grateful for. Because I'm left-handed, I start from the back of the book. But every day I write 10 things I'm grateful for as a reminder. It's your reticular activating system. It's the way your brain works. If you ever heard what you seek is what you find, perfect example, Bobby Cavalier, let's say you and your mom decided to go shopping for a car and you were looking for yellow cars. You didn't buy a yellow car, Bobby Cavalier. Neither did Miss Cavalier or Mrs. Cavalier. But after that, you started seeing yellow cars everywhere. Yellow cars on the street, yellow cars in toys, yellow cars in commercials. Has something like this ever happened to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not magic. It's how your brain works. Your brain takes in over 40 billion bits of information every moment. Not every second, moment. A lot of moments, a lot of information. Your brain can't process all of that information. So what it does is it sends it through your RAS, your reticular activating system. What you seek is what you find. So the second Bobby Cavalier said, I'm looking for a yellow car, then his brain is like, yellow car, yellow car, yellow car, yellow car, yellow car. That's what happens with all of us. So what I decided to do was retrain my brain. So every morning I wake up, I look for 10 new things and I write down 10 things to be grateful for. And after doing that for a month, it retrains your brain to look for positive things in life. The second Bobby Cavalier said he's looking for a yellow car, he started finding yellow cars. When I started waking up every morning looking for things to be grateful for, my life had become full with gratitude. I find it everywhere.
You've been doing that for a while, haven't you?
Every day since January 26, 2021. I haven't missed a day yet. Every morning it's 10 new things.
I love it because they right now in their minds they can't think of 10 things just today. But it really it creates a habit, doesn't it?
It creates a habit. A lot of times I can tell if I tell someone I come up with 10 things to be grateful for every day, like that's crazy. That's so much. But I bet you that same person can come up with 10 things that aren't going right in their life. Because that's what they're looking for. And that's what they continuously find. You're responsible for retraining your brain. Side note, y'all are adults. I don't care what the government says. Like, you have to be 18 to buy a lotto ticket, whatever. But at the age of like 13 or 14, you guys are pretty much adults, because the decisions you make now are going to affect you for the rest of your life. Even if you stole a car at 16, that's still going to be on your record. You're learning now. All the decisions you make now is going to follow you around for the rest of your life.
Cam, we are so excited. The clock's getting close to 2, so it's time for them to leave. And no matter how interesting another human being is, when it's time to go, it's time to go, right?
Time to go.
I think that could work for a lot of things in life. When it's time to go, it's time to go.
When it's time to go, when it's time to go.
But as they leave, Bobby Cavalier is going to come up and tell you his hashtag that he's coined that he uses every day in the classroom.
Let's hear Bobby Cavalier.
Come on up.
Coming.
To him, it's a lifestyle.
It's 100%. I'm all about hashtag gains with a Z. That's what I live by.
Hashtag games with a Z.
I
I like it.
Yeah, he calls it the
Is it
gains life.
swole season?
What's that?
Is it swole season?
What's swole season?
Oh, swell season. It is swell season.
Oh, is that lifting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's literally.
Hey, Cam, thank you. We'll be in touch, and we're going to have quite an itinerary for you on the 20th and 21st.
Looking forward to next month, guys. Take care.
What do we say? See ya.
Every time.
Hey, Cam. So what I've done now is we recorded this convo, and we just released it midweek as a 0.5 podcast episode. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I love that.
There's no editing. It just is what it is. You know, I don't think you can over create content, can you?
No, you could definitely overthink it.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, thanks. We'll talk soon.
Take care.
Yeah, bye.